In the podcast episode, Dr. Andrew Huberman discusses various topics related to brain health and cognitive function. He begins by talking about the negative effects of mouth breathing and how it can change the shape of the face, making it less attractive. He emphasizes the importance of nasal breathing and chewing hard foods for cranial facial development and tooth health. Dr. Huberman also discusses the field of orthodontia and how it is often a result of poor breathing habits and a diet consisting of soft foods. He mentions the MEW method, which focuses on restoring normal cranial facial development through proper breathing and chewing habits. The conversation then shifts to the topic of stress, and Dr. Huberman highlights the importance of understanding the difference between willpower and motivation. He explains that willpower is a limited resource and can be depleted, while motivation is the driving force that moves us from apathy to tenacity. He also discusses the role of the anterior mid-cingulate cortex in generating tenacity and willpower. Dr. Huberman explains that exercise, both cardiovascular and resistance training, has numerous benefits for brain health. It improves blood flow to the brain, reduces inflammation, and promotes the release of hormones and growth factors that enhance cognitive function. He emphasizes the importance of combining both types of exercise for overall health and cognitive function. The conversation then touches on the topic of alcohol and its effects on brain health. Dr. Huberman discusses the risks associated with excessive alcohol consumption, particularly for women who have an increased risk of breast cancer. He also mentions the societal pressure to drink and the misconception that not drinking is seen as abnormal. Dr. Huberman continues by emphasizing the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle, including regular exercise, proper nutrition, and engaging in challenging activities. He highlights the role of effort and learning in maintaining cognitive function and offsetting age-related cognitive decline. He encourages individuals to find activities that challenge them and push them beyond their comfort zones. Dr. Huberman then shares his personal experience with sobriety and how it has benefited him in terms of consistency, productivity, and overall well-being. He explains that sobriety is not about having a problem with alcohol, but rather a choice to prioritize other aspects of life. The conversation then shifts to the effects of psilocybin, a psychedelic compound found in magic mushrooms. Dr. Huberman describes how microdosing psilocybin has had positive effects on his mental clarity, mood, and overall well-being. He compares the effects of psilocybin to alcohol, noting that the former provides a more enjoyable and beneficial experience. The discussion then moves on to the importance of light exposure for circadian health. Dr. Huberman emphasizes the benefits of getting morning sunlight, as it helps regulate mood, mental health, and sleep. He suggests that many mental health issues may be linked to disrupted circadian rhythms caused by excessive screen time and artificial light exposure at night. The discussion then turns to the importance of neck training for overall health and well-being. Dr. Huberman explains that neck training helps improve posture, voice quality, and overall strength. He provides tips on how to safely and effectively train the neck muscles. The conversation briefly touches on the concept of Huberman husbands, which refers to men who are into health optimization practices such as red light therapy, cold plunges, and sauna treatments. Dr. Huberman clarifies that his podcast is not exclusively for men and that the information he shares is applicable to everyone. The discussion then shifts to the topic of vaping and its potential health risks. Dr. Huberman expresses his concerns about the chemicals and toxins present in vaping products and their detrimental effects on lung health. He recommends avoiding vaping and suggests alternative methods for nicotine consumption, such as patches or gum. Dr. Huberman acknowledges that vaping may be considered less harmful than traditional smoking, but he believes that the overall impact on public health is still negative due to the increased accessibility, enjoyability, and reduced stigma associated with vaping. The conversation then shifts to the impact of technology on people's ability to focus, particularly in relation to adult ADHD. Dr. Huberman explains that constantly shifting attention from one thing to another throughout the day inhibits the brain circuits responsible for maintaining focus. He compares this to the physical activity of deliberately shifting focus during exercise or other activities, which can be controlled and limited. Dr. Huberman also discusses the addictive nature of social media and the constant scrolling behavior that it promotes. He mentions the potential for social media to provide some valuable information and connections, but emphasizes the importance of limiting sensory input and taking time for deliberate thought and introspection. He shares his own practice of setting aside 20 minutes each day for focused thinking and the benefits he has experienced from this practice. The conversation then delves into the concept of productivity and how Dr. Huberman approaches it. He emphasizes the importance of setting a structure and routine, including practices such as getting morning sunlight, engaging in physical exercise, and practicing non-sleep deep rest. He also uses handwritten sticky notes to prioritize tasks and give himself a few minutes to ease into work before fully focusing on the task at hand. Dr. Huberman also discusses the concept of procrastination and its impact on productivity. He explains that procrastination can be attributed to various factors and that people who procrastinate may have access to certain creative states that non-procrastinators do not. He suggests overcoming procrastination by doing something harder than the task being avoided, as this can activate the brain's reward system and make the original task more accessible. The conversation continues with a discussion on the benefits of taking time for oneself and engaging in activities that promote introspection and creativity. Dr. Huberman shares his practice of imagining his friends and colleagues cheering him on as he focuses on his work, which helps him overcome distractions and stay motivated. He also emphasizes the importance of disconnecting from technology and allowing oneself to be alone with their thoughts to foster creativity and productivity. Dr. Huberman also talks about the importance of pushing oneself to do things that are harder than what they are trying to get away from. He shares personal examples of how he uses deliberate cold exposure to push himself and overcome procrastination. He believes that optimization is a continuous process and that people should strive to do better each day, while also being gentle with themselves when needed. The conversation then shifts to the perils of over-optimization and the guilt that people may feel for not being where they think they should be in terms of their goals. Dr. Huberman explains that optimization is not about being perfect all the time, but rather about working with what is in front of you and continuously striving to improve. He advises people to pay attention to their high activation states and reflect on the lessons they can learn from them. The discussion also touches on the challenges of fame and scrutiny that come with building a platform of Dr. Huberman's size. He shares his experience of being thrust into the public eye and the scrutiny he faced after a controversial comment on social media. He emphasizes the importance of staying true to oneself and not allowing others to use you to achieve their ends. He also talks about the need to have a council of trusted individuals who can provide guidance and support. Dr. Huberman expresses his gratitude for the support he has received and his passion for sharing science-based tools with others. He discusses his plans for the remainder of 2023, which include finishing a book on protocols and continuing with his podcast and guest series. He also mentions his live shows and the positive interactions he has with his audience. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.